Welcome back. So we are going to continue our content here going into the Kobold's Den. So basically, as I said before, the big thing you got to remember about playing the game is definitely checking what your quests are, J for journal, and then what we're going to do here. So I actually really like this one feature right here. So in your dialogue or your journal here, you have 3 tabs. So we've already completed Warden of the Keep, which whenever we talked to him, he gave us the Kobold's quest, okay? But we also have notes here. So these notes actually do stay persistent with your gameplay sessions, even when the server restarts. So what I like to do is, because each of the shrines, as you progress through, each of the shrines is actually going to give you a new word at the end of it, and it doesn't actually tell you in the quest. So whenever you actually get to like the second shrine, you won't have the word that you're going to need. So what I like to do is I like to go into notes and I just do first shrine dash lie. And then, I will just put second shrine and then attack, and then that'll be good. So now whenever I need to go back here, if for some reason um, and the main reason is because even though you can go back through it and look at your completed quest, it just says you have completed the task. It doesn't actually say what it is, even though you probably won't party with people that are gonna forget this, because this is like, the main quest you start with even whenever you first join. So everybody should have this quest. But if for some reason somebody needs help with the quest, then you'll know which words you actually need to put into the chat to actually be able to get into the next shrine, right? So I just like to do that, and any other notes that you need, just put them here. Just make sure you organize them right. That's why I put first shrine and then second shrine. I know that there's going to be multiple shrines, but I always like to do this just because I've actually experienced a little bit of the content. That's why I wanted to do this, because I can't even remember what the other shrines are, what the keywords are that you have to say in the chat. So we're just going to continue on. We're going to go and see if we can actually take care of the kobolds or not. So I haven't actually done this for a while. The cool thing is my dad and I actually were playing about a week ago, and we had a pretty hard time with the kobolds. And it wasn't like the combat with the kobolds, it was the quest, because we were in a party and I had a quest to defeat. I had like the second part of the quest, but he saw the first part, and the first part wouldn't go because he was in my party and I had already completed the first quest. So if you guys are planning on doing this as a group, make sure that you all start at the same time, and make sure that your quests are the same so that all of you guys will be able to complete that quest. And whenever the party leader turns in the quest, it'll affect the entirety of the group. Everybody's quest will actually be completed, not just the first person who actually talks to them. Okay, so don't worry about like your quest not updating or not getting experience or anything for the quest. If you're in a party, then you guys should be fine. Alright, so I'm going to close my quest dialogue. I'm going to open up my journal here. Oh, I love this combat music. Oh, it's so good. Alright, so I see through the illusion. This startled me the very first time I played. I'm not going to lie, I was like, what is that? So it's really interesting how they do that. And you actually can fail that check that's there. It's a fear check. So you actually can fail that. Oh, there's a kobold right here. So let's see if we can... Oh, got him. Nice. So I know you guys can't see it because my face is covering the chat logs down here. I just have it down here so that it actually does block the chat logs. But the chat log actually will tell you your hits, your experience points you've gained, and also whenever they drop loot. Because normally only the name monsters are guaranteed to drop loot, and they normally have like auras around them and stuff so that you can tell that they're going to drop loot. But sometimes normal monsters do, and the chests will just like randomly appear. So let me see here on the map. I want to say there is a hidden room somewhere over here. So if I go special abilities, and I can go... Oh, might want to kill this kobold first. Funny thing is, I didn't know that there was a hidden door around here until I was actually playing this with my father, which is kind of funny. So I don't know if it's here. or if it's somewhere else, but we're just gonna kind of walk around in our detect mode. I don't think that my detect is high enough though. My search skill might be too low. Yeah, I have 0 in search, so I probably won't even like be able to do that. Since I have a 0, I don't think that I'd be able to detect it, but that's fine. We can still try and see if we can, but that's one of the downsides of playing as a fighter. You don't have those specific checks because it's an intelligence check. So since my intelligence, I believe, is only a 10, I don't think I'm gonna be able to, you know, find anything that I search for. But it's always worth trying, you know, because as I said in the last video, elves do it like automatically. So whenever they're just running around, they just can find hidden stuff, which is freaking cool. But I'm just gonna check all of these. Oh, am I getting attacked by something? Is something around here? Okay, I don't see anything, but I'm just gonna check these crates. Ooh, a copper necklace, nice. The only reason I'm checking this stuff is because, I mean, you get a few gold pieces, but sometimes you'll find potions, and potions are important, because whenever you're in combat with, like, as I was telling you, like, the named bosses, or the named monsters that give you guaranteed loot, sometimes those hit a lot harder than the standard mobs. It just really depends on your armor and everything. If you're playing like a wizard or a sorcerer or even like a rogue, you can get hit a heck of a lot harder than a warrior. But basically, there's one. Verbag the Silencer. So he's actually going to be guaranteed to drop loot. The rest of these kobolds aren't always guaranteed to drop loot. And it says that this one actually did. Oh, and somebody else is over there fighting him. Holy bejeebus. And whenever you get a chest, the cool thing is everybody in your party gets their own loot. So this is an unidentified item. And then we got this scroll, which is unidentified. So that's already 1,000 gold. So we definitely want to make sure that, you know, if we do find any more, that we put it in the player chest that we have so we can identify the 2 that we have. Or we find some other way to basically alleviate having to pay for more if we find more. If we find more, then we're just going to have to make more gold somehow. But I'm just going through, as I said, just looking through the crates, seeing if I can get anything. So there's one that I can sell. Ultravision. Very nice. Some more gold. And then we have some more gold. All right, cool. So basically... Oh, am I stuck? Oh, there we go. I'm not stuck. Awesome. So as I said, basically we're just going through. We're going to see, normally whenever that combat music is going, that means that we can't rest and there's a monster nearby. So there's this guy right here. I don't see any other kobolds, but of course, oh, there's one right there. The thing, as I said, with playing like a human, since you don't have dark vision or low light vision, anything like that, it's going to be harder and it's going to take you getting closer to monsters before you actually can see them. So I'm hoping we can just get this guy beaten down. I don't see anything else that's lootable over here. I also don't see any shrines. Sometimes you can find shrines that give you different types of buffs as well, which is one of the other reasons I really like this persistent world. Is there's always like little shrines that you can get these buffs, and some of them are really good. Like Stone Skin's really good. The mage armor, the aid one isn't great, but I mean, any additional temporary hit points are good. And you know, with kobolds, you're basically one-shotting them anyway. So I think that the combat music is just going because this is an area where there are kobolds that'll attack you. I'm just gonna go through and see if I can find any more money or potions in here. Ah, I've got some bullets. Okay. If you have a sling, that's where those bullets come into play. And as a, I think everybody can use a sling, if I remember correctly. I think it's a simple weapon. I could be wrong, but I believe that it's a simple weapon. Barrel. Another copper necklace. All right, we'll take it. A little bit of excess money. Oh, and there's a potion of cure light wounds. As I said, sometimes you find potions, and that's actually the only reason I really check those. Starting out, you basically just want to grab everything, of course, because you need to make some money. But it's just one of those things. So we're still trying to find and destroy this. So I think that once we go through this, we'll actually be able to complete this part of the quest, because I want to say there's another part of the quest, so it'll update the quest, I believe, after you defeat all the ones that you have to around here. Because I believe that there is... I think there's a crate right there as well. So we're just going to basically defeat all these guys real fast. And this is why everybody says a fighter is really good starting out, because you almost always land your hits. It's harder whenever you're playing other classes that aren't like melee based, because if you're playing like a ranger, rangers can hit pretty good, especially from range, but you have to remember that monsters are going to try to get into that melee range. So if you're already a melee range kind of character, then you basically are set up to be a little more successful, unless you're playing as a caster. Casters actually hit a lot harder, but they only get so many spell slots, because this game, instead of using a mana-based system, they use the spell slot system. So you only have so many times you can cast the same spell, or even certain other spells. So let me see. I don't see any other creatures in here, so I don't know. I probably will have to backtrack a little bit and see what there is that is respawn, because I know that the quest will update as soon as you kill either enough kobolds, or if you kill enough after you've progressed so far in this. So, and as we saw another player that was killing stuff, so I don't know if that was actually like a complete clear that he did or not, but we're just going to go back and we're going to see if we can get a few more kills here, because of course we also do want to try and level up. Once we hit level 2, we'll be able to choose another feat, as well as we'll get more hit points and everything. So if you press C, it'll actually tell you right here your experience, and then the next level requires 1,000. We're at 361. So I mean, we're a little over a third of the way there. So basically, we're just gonna try to see if we can wait this out a little bit and see if we can get this quest to allow us to update, just because I think we have to kill, as I said, so many, or we have to get so far in here and kill another kobold, and then it should update. Because I want to say that there's the next quest is the Elder Kobold, but I don't know if that's a requirement for the Kobold's quest, because it still says find and destroy the infestation. So this isn't complete yet. We're still waiting for this to be complete, and I don't know, as I said, if I have to kill the Kobold Elder, or if I have to wait until another one pops in. And this is like the thing that can get kind of annoying on persistent worlds, is whenever other people are doing the same quests you are, it's a little annoying, kind of tedious, but at the same point in time, it's a lot of fun, and it's really nice because you actually can get more levels that way. You can kind of just grind up a little bit while still completing your quest, which is really cool. I don't see anything else, so I think what we're going to do is just backtrack a little bit more and see if there's any more that have spawned. Because if we actually can kill a few more kobolds, and we spend a little bit of time away from here, maybe those other monsters or the other kobolds will spawn, so that we actually can get this quest to auto-update before we have to kill the Elder. Because if we kill the Elder before the quest updates, I don't know if we'll have to leave and then come back. I can't remember if it just auto-updates or not for that. So basically, we're just going to run through and just kill some more kobolds, and then we're going to run back and see if it'll actually update or not. Attack of opportunity, I love it. Be careful though, attack of opportunities also work for the monsters, so you have to be very careful, because sometimes those monsters will just smack the crap out of you, and you really don't have any options other than that. Even if you're like in the middle of combat and you're circled by monsters, like if your character moves to be able to attack one of them, moves too far away from an enemy monster, that enemy monster will get that attack of opportunity, which is super annoying, but it happens. So you just got to take that with a grain of salt. The systems are really cool. Everything in place is really cool, but you have to remember that sometimes it's a pain. So, all right, so there's that guy. Oh, and the other cool thing I love is whenever you mouse over an enemy, and if you don't kill them, it'll say how close to death they are. So my character says injured, and you can see my red bar here is little black, so I only have so much health left. I have 9 out of 13 health. If I mouse over my character, it says I'm injured, so I think that that's really cool as well. So Let's see if we continue back this way, if we actually can get this quest completed. And then if we get this quest to auto-update, that'll be even better. So I'm really excited for that. Let's see. Don't see anything about that. Alright, let's see. I do apologize if you heard that ringing. We're just gonna devour these kobolds real quick. See if we can actually get this to go now. Alright, so we're doing some good stuff. Oh, is there another kobold there? I didn't see one. Well, if there is, I'll see him running towards me. Okay, no. Alright, cool. Should be good. Alright. Let's get this guy devoured. Oh, and it says I'm badly wounded. Oh boy. I wonder if I can rest right here by this door. I don't know if it'll, like, let me or not, because that since that combat music is going, it doesn't let me. But let me see if I hit rest. Okay, so it'll let me rest. Awesome. Resting, if anytime you don't have to use your potions, I wouldn't, just because, I mean, they aren't expensive, but at the beginning, it's annoying, and it can get expensive for a lower level character. Once you get a few levels in, though, it's not too bad to just go buy the potions. But starting out, I would recommend trying to save them as many as you can anyway. Ooh, we have another kobold here. Let's go. This guy is guaranteed to drop loot. So anything that is named is guaranteed to drop loot, as I was saying earlier. And it is honestly one of my favorite parts about this persistent world, because you can tell which ones are going to drop the loot, and those are the ones you want to focus on. And even above my character's head, it said you found loot. So you just have to wait, and the chest will appear. And the cool thing is these chests actually give loot to everybody. So not just the person who gets it first. Oh boy. Let's see if we can kill this elder. Oh boy, those spells are rough. Which is funny because I succeeded on that with a 17. Holy wow. Near death and... Alright, so... Now we have Kobold Elder. So, whenever you kill the Kobold Elder, he will drop this remains bag. You click it. Okay, so we completed the quest, and then this one was updated. Updated Kobolds was updated, so Kobolds is now complete. And then quest, the Elder. You killed the Elder. The Kobold will take this as a bad omen and move on. Go tell the Warden. So now we can go tell the Warden. So now we are good to go. We completed our quest, but that's the main thing you want to do is always check to make sure that it updated. And it'll tell you down here, I know I'm, still covering it, sorry. But in your chat log on the right side, that one will tell you, I believe the right side is your combat log. So the log will actually tell you what updates and everything as well. But it'll just say updated, it won't say complete for any of the things that you've done. So that's why I always say come in here, see if it's complete, see if you have the right quest, and go from there. So we're basically just gonna run on out of here, and hopefully we can find another named guy. That'd be really cool. Oh, another thing, make sure you don't go over your weight limit here, because if you do, you will walk very, very slowly, and that means that monsters will be able to basically devour you as much as they want. Something else attacking me? Okay. Thought something else was attacking me for a second there. Oh, there's a fate statue. So this is actually a really cool feature. I don't know if he's going to attack me or not, but we're going to run over here and hit the fate statue. So you can tempt fate, and it gave me a lot of negative stuff, so I might die to this kobold, but not too bad. Sometimes when you actually use those statues, you'll get additional experience, you'll get buffs, sometimes you get items. So always, whenever you see one of those, always go and check it out. I don't know if it's different per zone or anything like that, but most of the time that first shrine always gives you a buff. So I don't know if it's just how many people use it, if it's completely RNG, which I'm going to assume it is completely RNG. But sometimes you get good stuff, sometimes you get bad stuff. I mean, I just have everything decreased right now. But not a big deal. we'll just continue on out of here. I want to say we're getting close. Yep, so we're here. And if you guys want the same UI that I have, I use the Reborn UI, which you can get through the Steam Workshop. It is by far, I think, one of the better looking UIs, just because it still is very standard, but it doesn't add so much that like it's hard to play the game, and it doesn't like distract you at all. I just really like that it allows me to see my abilities a lot easier and be able to differentiate them, because with the standard UI, everything's like this brownish kind of color, like all of the stuff is, and the only difference is like the symbols that are on them, and I find that hard to actually go through and figure out what's what, especially just a quick glance. So I find that the Reborn UI does a lot of really good stuff, like power attack. Because I've played it, oh, see, there's a secret door here. How I found this, I don't know, but I'm gonna see if there's anything in here. There's a treasure chest. Let's see if we get anything. Ooh, we got some good stuff out of here. Unidentified, unidentified. Oof. So I'm hoping that we actually can get some stuff identified. We're probably gonna have to throw some stuff into our player storage, just because I don't know if I'll have enough gold. I mean, we have a few things that we can sell. We might make enough, but we might not. So we're gonna have to basically just, oh, and we leveled up. Nice. Just wait for that. Defeat him. And whenever you actually get a level up, you'll have like an ascended or an ascension kind of thing on your character portal, so you'll know that you can level up there as well, which is very, very convenient. So if we press C, we can level up here. So click to level up. I just do recommended on everything, and the reason why I do that is because like cleave, I never would have thought about adding cleave to my fighter, but it is such a useful thing to have. And then of course you can see that our health went up. So instead of only having 13 health, now we have 26, which is very, very nice. And now we'll be able to, you know, withstand a lot more damage, and hopefully we can buy some more armor if we actually do get some good items out of anything that we identify. Because I found items that are like level 4 or 5 required in this kobold den. So you can really find some good stuff that you want to save, or good stuff that you just want to sell because it sells for a decent amount. And that's normally what I recommend, is anything you can't use right now, just sell it, unless it's something that is just so good that you want to keep it, because you might find something better by the time you hit that level. And of course, because you have a limited amount that you can carry, I would recommend, if you're going to keep it, throw it in that player storage for sure. Alright, so let's get back over here. Alrighty. And if we open up our map, so you know that Blackstone Keep is here because of the river. That's like the main reason, or the main thing that I look for is that. And then of course the gate. Open the gate, go on in. Alright. So we have some good stuff. These poison arrows might actually be worth some money. So what I always recommend before you go and identify, go and sell anything that you don't need. Healer kits are super important, so that you can actually heal when out of combat, or you can heal other people if you're in a party with them with that healing kit. So that's actually really nice as well. Let's get on in here. And this beggar normally will ask you if you can spare some coin. And if you do, it'll increase your alignment. And if you don't, it can decrease your alignment. It just really depends. So whenever you mouse over an item, so if I mouse over this golden, or this copper necklace, over here on the left side underneath all this stuff, if you mouse over this, you can see that there's a value that is associated with it, right here on the bottom. That's actually the same thing. Whenever you mouse over an item in your inventory, it'll tell you how much the item will sell for at the shop. So that's how I know how expensive items are and everything. So that sells for 162. Let's go. Bolt doesn't sell for anything. These don't sell for anything, and you can actually just take these and pop these in here if you can't sell them for anything. Like this is unidentified. I definitely want to keep those. I can't even equip them. These poison arrows, a stack of 99 sells for 11,880, so we are good on money for the moment. Celestial is actually an item that I don't know how I didn't have that set up, but it's okay. The server is going to restart soon, so I'm probably going to have to end the video before we go and identify, but we will definitely be identifying the items whenever we get a chance to get back on here, because I would prefer to have everything set up so that we can actually view everything. These Thief Souls are fine, I guess. The healer kit's over. All of our potions are set up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items to identify. So basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to run over to the identification area, and because the server is going to be restarting, I'm going to probably have to just end the video there. And I believe that it should save my character to this spot, so whenever we do the next video, that's what we'll start. We'll start with actually identifying our items. So what I always like to do before the server restart is save character, so that it sends it to the vault for the persistent world, and then whenever the server restarts, it'll pull from the save that you actually manually saved. So I always recommend doing that before you leave, just in case. But hope you guys had some fun. If you like the content, let me know down in the comments. See you guys later. Peace.